Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. Today is Wednesday, January the 16th, 2013. We'll be looking at the NASDAQ today. You could also look at any of the U.S. markets for this. I'm just going to try to basically teach you guys a little lesson here. Somebody mentioned when I was talking about yesterday, I posted that we have expect a peak to start to form here. And they were talking about, no, it's going to go higher and this now. I'm not trying to tell you the peak's going to happen immediately today. That's not my objective. But what I'm telling you is I've been stopped out of this. I'm starting to see a development here that concerns me. But some of the people out there are under the impression that they can hold it until the RSI right here, which I've added to this chart so we simply draw this out because you guys know I'm not actually using the RSI. I use the ultimate oscillator. But anyway, the main thing here is to show you that they're waiting for the RSI to hit the 70 point before they would say, okay, at that point, then maybe we have a top and we roll over. There's a problem with that. The first point, of course, would be is if you've actually watched the video covering the RSI on our website at PerfectStockAlert.com, you know how it actually works and how oftentimes in a bearish market you will get pullbacks when you pull up here to the 60 line, not the 70 line. When in a bearish market, you often find peaks there. We've seen this several times. We find very bearish markets, you'll find peaks at the 50 line. So that finding the exact sell point at the RSI 70 line is so many ways of wrong, it's not even funny. The main thing I wanted to show you today, though, was, let's get rid of that. The main thing was that I wanted to show you the gap that we have is a very massive gap, and we've talked about this a couple of times before. From this low point here and this high point here, you can see what it's closed, I should say. You've got this massive gap here that's unfilled, and I argued that if we simply pulled back a bit and filled that and then we started to move higher, that'd be great. I'd love that. It'd be a great situation. But because we haven't done that, we're leaving this gap unfilled, as well as these two smaller ones down here, which these two are smaller. They're not the same size and not the same threat as this one. But when you leave them unfilled and you just continue to rally, you in effect are basically saying this rally to the upside is unsustainable and we're going to go crashing back down and fill those gaps later. So the main thing, again, is when you're stopped out of your position at this point, like we were here, I'm not about to jump back in this, especially with the overbought condition on the ultimate oscillator on both the short-term and long-term charts, with the gaps unfilled below us, not very good, strong chart conditions. I'm not going to do that. And if you know about our website, you know these charts are kept there, that you can also do things with those charts. Let me show you right quick. If we scroll down to the bottom of the page, you will notice that there's all kinds of information here. My settings and whatnot are here. But you will also find that you can take the same chart that I have there, adjust the time frame, and you'll be able to pull up the same chart that I have been using for some time, including previous information, things that I've marked on the chart. Let me point out a couple of them for you. Back here, there was a massive gap when this closed and this point here. We marked it on the chart because it was very important. Yes, you still rally to the upside, but at some point, we get stopped out. And at that point, I become no longer a fan of this great market rally. We start to see what's forming is a major market top. In this particular case, potential head and shoulders forming. We told you about it when it was developing. We started drawing the lines out for you. Told you to wait for the right signal before you started to get short. We took it at that particular point on this chart. Now, again, the main thing to think about whenever you've been stopped out and you've got all these dangerous signs below you is to know, without question, that you have a top that's going to be developing. That top, once it has developed, will give you plenty of entry opportunities. Don't attempt to believe that because you've been stopped out of a long position that immediately you must start shorting. It doesn't work that way. Whenever you get stopped out, you start to spend time where the chart just starts to roll over. This is forming a top. It takes time. There's days to the upside, there's days to the downside. This continues for a while until eventually you start to break the trend and you start going the other way. All I'm telling you at this point in time is the chart is setting up again the same way it did before. We've had the massive gap. We've been stopped out. So you want to continue to press the upside, go for it. You want to play like, oh, she has to hit 70 before I can get out. Sometimes she will, sometimes she won't. It's up to you how you want to trade it. But you should be looking at the chart, recognizing the signs are there. You're starting to get top heavy. And that's my main point of the day here today, is not to tell you that any one particular sign is going to be the reason for you to do anything, but just look at the overall picture and recognize that setting up to do this topping pattern, I should be preparing myself for such. If you've not been to the free website at PerfectStockAlert.com, it's right there. It's 100% free, and all we ask in return, please refer a friend. I'd like to take a moment to thank everybody who has been doing that. Thank you for sharing our videos online. I know you guys have been sharing our videos daily over there at tspcenter.com, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you guys for that, as well as everybody else who's been sharing our videos. Thank you guys for that support. That helps us continue to do what we're doing for you guys, and providing it all 100% free. Also, we've continued to add today to another tutorial video on the cash flow statement for your assistance. Okay, God bless. Take care. See you in the next one. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. The information provided herein is our opinion only. Under no circumstances do any statements here represent a recommendation to buy or sell securities or make any kind of an investment. You are responsible for your own due diligence. To summarize, we do not provide investment advice, nor do we make any claims or promises that any information here will lead to a profit, loss, or any other result. These videos are for educational purposes only.